is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellania. Today, I am coming at you with a kit up and chat. That is where, instead of doing a whip and chat, I'm going to kit something up. It's a mystery, though, because the sneak peek for this kit has not yet come out. So you get to see the color palette, but you don't get to see what it is just yet. I don't have any tools necessarily that I need to go over exactly, but the drills, the stickers, I already have some fabric softener sheets ready in case I run into static, which I do see a little bit, my sticker sheet. Some washi tape. I'm going to use this, maybe even another color actually, because this one is looking a little bit empty. We'll go with these two. They'll match just fine with whatever. It doesn't matter. It's kind of a throwaway thing. And then my Fairies Oracle, which will come in later. I just have a pretty little stone. This is a piece of labradorite that I love so much, and I just have it sitting on top of the Fairies Oracle. We'll get into that later. That'll be our thought for the week. And then I just got a couple of new Craftmates containers. I love to kit up into this. I've only got 45 colors here, so I love to kit up into Craftmates because it has 56 in here, and it's a really cool system, which you'll see as I'm kind of going through it. So anyway, let me get right into it. Get a drink of my soda here. Delicious. Okay, so how is everybody doing for the week? I am, you guys, I'm overwhelmed, but in like a good way. I have been just busy, and nothing wrong with being busy. I feel like a little bit crazy, you know, and a little crazy again can be okay. It just kind of depends on what's going on. But, you know, prepping for the Mary Morales event, it's a lot and it's good. And I'm really enjoying myself there. No complaints at all. I'm excited. I'm really stoked. And it's a lot of work for one person to do. Not complaining. I can absolutely do it. But, you know, like, it is what it is. Like, you do what you can. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I can. But, I mean, overwhelmed can be a good and a bad thing, right? Like, you can take that energy and you can do a lot with it, or you can take that energy and let it break you. And I'm kind of one of those people that I thrive under pressure. So, you know, I'm doing my thing, right? I'm going to continue to do my thing because that's what I do. I am used to kind of like living under a deadline, and so this event and having, you know, things set up just so, I like the fact that I'm the one in charge of it and I'm the only person I have to answer to. Like, I don't have to rely on anybody else to meet those deadlines. I used to hate like group projects because you would always end up with some slag off that wouldn't do any of their own work. And then it would be frustrating because you would end up doing everything. They would get your A at the end of the whole project. And it was just like complete crap. It was the one thing that I hated about high school. It was the one thing that I hated about college. You know, like whenever you had to do a group project, it just sucked. So the fact that I am kind of doing this by myself is not really a problem for me. I'm not mad about it. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world. So don't take that as complaining. It's just there's a lot going on. And so it's well, I guess overwhelming isn't even the right word. It's whelming, right? It's whelming. It's not underwhelming. It's not overwhelming. It's just whelming. Is that a word? We're going to make it a word. Anyways, so I've been working on all of that. I have some resin stuff that as you're watching this, I'm going to be working on during the day. I've got to go over and check on the blanks, and if some of them are ready, I'm going to turn them because of my mishap on the lathe before. So that is going to be fixed hopefully tomorrow, as long as they're good to turn. If they're not ready to turn tomorrow, then I'm going to go turn them on Friday. So or at least some of them get turned on Friday. We'll see how many I can crank out, but it's been cold and they have been in, the resin has been in the garage, so we'll see. We will see, but I want to make sure that those are done before the event. I just, you know, got to get over there, got to get to them because they're behind and I feel awful. Was not expecting to have an explosion on the lathe, and so that was just crap. But I am, yeah, I'm getting to it. I will probably, because it is now getting really cold out and not safe to try and work resin in a cold environment because it won't set up right, I will probably halt putting any pens together that are not ordered yet on hold until then, just because I've got a lot happening. I will pick back up after the event, and if I need to bring the stuff to my own house to work on, then that's what I'll end up doing. But for now, I'm not gonna stress, I'm not gonna panic, I'm gonna let it be. Beans is pacing. I don't know what he's doing. Sorry. Yeah, so we went over to the in-laws because my father-in-law just got back from a hunting trip, and he does not like me to go over and work in the garage without him at least being like at home, or somebody being at home, or at least somebody being at home, because if something was to happen in the garage while he wasn't there, like, he would be really, really worried about that, like something bad happening and nobody being there. If I like cut an arm off or something, I don't know. Not that I'm planning on cutting any arms off, but you know how parents are, how they worry. Now, what I've been doing is I'm putting washi tape on the top because these particular stickers are really sticky, and so I don't want to run into issues where I can't get the stickers off. I don't know if some of you remember, I was cleaning off a different Craftmates because there was just so much sticky crap on it, and it took me hours during a live. Like, I was literally just trying to kit something down and it took hours because I couldn't get the stickers off. So I learned my lesson that you put washi tape down so that you don't run into those issues, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm putting down washi tape. Other than that, you guys, there's not, it's just more planning for Mary Morales. Now, I have 50 some sponsors. You know, I will read them off for you really quickly because the list is insane. Okay, let me read these off for you. All of the sponsors for Mary Morales from top to bottom. Okay, so Margaret Morales, she's our first sponsor. That was a win. Custom Pens by Cheryl, Print Al Sable 3D, Zodiac Shadows, Art Dot, Art and Soul, Yellow Dog Designs, Bee's Crafty Corner, Lowena's Designs, Creations Moren, Cat Eared, the one with the diamond art, Pucky Pie Pours, O'Brien Custom Turning with Castaways Creations, Diamond Painting Daily, Craftspirations, Putty Crocker's Boutique, and more. Kevin's Creations, Pam Diamond Painting, Bistro Exclusives, or Bistro Blanks LLC, Black Dahlia Diamond Art, Diamond Pen Pal, Diamond Drills USA, Moku Moku Pens, Lassen Lathe Works, Captured by Radiance, Enablers Outpost, Fairy Dust Clay, Randa's Crafty Corner, Enchanted Succulent, Butterfly Effect Wares, Butterfly Kisses Customs, Waterbug's Garden, Joy's Putty, Rhinestone Goddess Creations, Jaded Gem Shop, Diamond Painters Anonymous, Nix's Notions, Ephemera 3D, Lady Lathe Customs by Design, Shimmering Canvases, Kisses Customs, Peachy Keen Pens, DP with Sparklers, Mystic Makers, Cosmic Crafts, Madwood Turning, Fantasy Spark Hills, Dream Wax, Firefly, Grateful Pop Blanks, Lucky's Resin Works, and Flawa Designs. And more are coming and in on this every single day. I'm freaking, you guys, in such a good way. Like, it's amazing. Now, I did cut off the number here on the side because, as you can see, like, it would be too big to fit on here. Do you see why I'm whelmed? Like, woof, I'm whelmed. There, oh, shite. I am whelmed. There is a lot, and in a good way. I'm really excited about all of the sponsors, about everything that's going on for the event. Like, it's madness, but good madness, like really good madness. I'm super stoked about everything. I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be wonderful. And oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited, and I'm nervous, and I'm happy, and I'm grateful. I'm everything. I'm whelmed, guys. I'm whelmed. And I really could not do it without both you guys, the viewers, and also a team of really amazing helpers that I've had along the way. We have a little kind of planning committee that I've been utilizing. So I do want to say a great big thank you to Amber, Alex, Jamie, Sarah, Kat, and Ducky. Thank you guys so much for helping out. Like, seriously, could not do any of this without you guys. And I know you're all gonna be like, well, I didn't really do very much. Your moral support and encouragement along the way, it has meant so much to me. Like, I need that moral support too, because I can really, like, believe it or not, I know I've talked about it, like, I can get really down on myself and just feel like that old imposter syndrome kick in again, because I feel like I can fail as much as I succeed. And if I'm not careful, I can let that ghost, that demon, that I don't even know what to call it, I can let that sneak in and take over me. And you guys have really helped me to kind of knock that down and say, not today, Satan, you know? So thank you wildly for just moral support, helping out, you know, reaching out to sponsors when I was unable to get a hold of them, or, you know, like, oh my God. So I had Being the Imperative, an Etsy account. And what happened was, you know, like, if you send messages on Etsy and it's like a copy pasted sort of message, like, Etsy will think that that is spam. Their bots will catch it, and then they permanently suspend your account. So I learned that. I then started handcrafting, you know, like, messages to businesses so that I could talk to sponsors, you know, try to get more sponsors for the event. Well, then apparently, I don't know, I guess I sent too many in too short a time or something like that, and Etsy didn't like that. So then I got a second account banned for just sending messages on Etsy, and they weren't like copy pasted, they were all handwritten one by one by one. Didn't like it. So I got that one banned. Well, then I only sent like 2 or 3 messages. I was like, okay, I mean, what, something's got to give here. I sent 2 or 3 messages and boom, I got banned again. And I don't know if it's like, okay, it's got to be something to do with the IP address maybe, or I don't know what. I don't know what the heck, you guys. But I got banned again. And so I gave up on Etsy. I told everybody, like, because initially I was going to have everybody take like 2 or 3 businesses, get a hold of them and ask them about sponsorship. So I got a hold of everybody. And I was like, whoa, 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 don't send any messages, because I didn't want anybody's account permanently banned because they were trying to help me. You know what I mean? I was like, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that to anybody. So, I ended up just telling them, you know what, forget about it. Either I'm going to be able to get a hold of them on Facebook or some other way, but I'm not going to let you guys lose your accounts. So I managed to find most everybody on Facebook or some other social media, but there's so many that I could never get a hold of, like Jim's Handmade Pens. I'm really sorry if anybody knows another way to reach Jim's Handmade Pens besides the Instagram, which I've tried, and Etsy. Please let me know, because I had initially been talking to Jim. Jim was going to sponsor, and then I stopped being able to use Etsy. So I couldn't get a hold of Jim to say like, hey, everything's good to go. You know, in what ways do you want to sponsor? Is there an email address I can reach you at? I got nothing. So there were some sponsorships that fell through because I just simply could not get on an Etsy account. So that sucked. That was a major setback. It was just a lot. So I'm learning a lot about how I would want to how I would want to run sponsorship again in the future, and some things that I might want to add or change or do differently. Like, I'm learning so much. Damn it. This son of a biscuit. All right. There we go. The stickers don't want to stick to the washi tape. I'm a little concerned about that, because the stickers are sticky, but then the top of the washi tape is not. And it doesn't like that surface. Stop it. You stop it. I hope they'll stay down, because I can't stick them to the thing. I know that they're too sticky for it. Like, they're way too sticky for it. Well, anyway. So I've learned a lot about sponsorship and like what I would change next time. And I'm becoming kind of a pro at like contacting people, being professional, you know, writing a professional email and all of those things. Like, I feel like I've done a really good job at showing a very professional face and, you know, writing a professional letter and things like that. Like, I feel like I've done a really, really good job of that. And I mean, over 50 sponsors, like, that is no joking matter. I have really like busted my butthole trying to get these sponsors together. So, but I'm learning a lot. Like I said, there's things I would do differently next time that it's a little late in the game to try and do now. Totally fine. Not mad about that. I think that I know what I would do differently next time, and I will employ those changes on the next, whatever the next is going to be. I think the next one will end up being a pop-up event, like my 24-hour live in May of next year, because I don't think I'm going to do anything between January and May. Give myself a breather, because I went May and then for Mental Health Month, and then I went right from May into the June, July Wings and Anythings. Gave myself a good breather, a good break, and then I went right into planning for Mary Morales, like right after that. So nothing between January and May. I'm going to give myself that nice break in there before I try and plot or plan anything else. Because, woof, you guys, it's a lot. It really is. It's a lot. So I am, like I said, I'm learning. And then the other thing that I am discovering is, like, when you are doing events like this, like, there are going to be some businesses that will be really weird with a person. Like, some of the responses that I got, I was not expecting, and that is okay. It's obviously their business. Like, they can sponsor or not sponsor, and or give any kind of response that they want to. That's totally up to them. They can make determinations on how they want to respond to a person who's asking about sponsorships. But I did get some really bizarre, like, requests for things, and so you know, when it's a first big event like this, like, yes, Wings and Anythings would have been a big event for me, but now that I've done this, like, Wings and Anythings was really nothing, because a lot of the sponsorship and or prizes or things like that came from the community, came from people who were fans or me or whatever. And so having this event, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And so when I reached out to sponsors, some of them have never heard of me before. So I'm not mad at them for whatever, like, you know, kind of reaction that they had to what I was asking them for, because they don't know me from anybody. Like, I've never done this event before. I'm coming at them out of left field. Like, they've never heard of me, some of them. Some of them I've never purchased from them before, and so they're like, who in the freak are you, lady? So their reaction is warranted. I'm not mad. It's just some of them were really weird. It was like, I mean, okay, a simple no would have been okay too. But, you know, again, it's something that I think maybe as they see that the event is, like, legit, that they don't have anything to worry about, you know, and they see that there's a sponsors list from this year, that they'll feel a little more comfortable when I reach out next year and just say, hey, I know that you weren't able to sponsor last year. This year the event is going on again. Can I interest you in sponsoring this time, or whatever? But yeah, I have just really been grateful, even to those who said no, for taking the time to read my email, at least give it some thought, even if they asked for weird stuff, or, you know, asked what I thought to be weird questions. Probably weren't weird to them at all. And so I am not at all upset with them for the way that they responded to me. Like, it's all, like I said, they're 100% prerogative to say yes, no, in any way that they want to. So no hard feelings if anybody said no. but it was just, I think I will approach things a little differently in some ways next year. And in some ways I felt like, man, that was really successful. And I'm interested in doing some of the same things that I did again. Now, I'm not going to lie. I have used the models of other contests or giveaways or whatever events before me. I've kind of looked through other people's forms and the way they wrote those or the way that they ran things. And so I can't lie and say like, oh, I thought of everything by myself. I didn't. I'm sorry. I stole from people. I did. I stole ideas, or I stole like phrasing for things. I'm like, how can I word this professionally or whatever? Now, reaching out to sponsors and stuff, that was all me. But for the giveaways and the legalese and the what I was asking and that I totally stole from people, and I don't even feel a little bit bad about it. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I can't, because it was a lot. So I decided to utilize those people who have more experience than I do in running events. And no, I didn't ask for their help because I wasn't sure if they'd give it, if I'm being honest. Like, I know that sounds crap to say, but there were a lot of people that I felt like, if I asked them like, hey, so what is the best way to write out XYZ? And I have a feeling they probably would have just been like, kick rocks, thanks, bye. Or would have been like, yeah, well, if you want me to help with co-hosting, I will. And I don't want that. I really don't want to co-host. I feel like I'm very protective of this because it's my baby and I don't want to share it with anybody. And if that's terrible, then that's so be it. I don't feel bad about that. I want this event for myself. I've put all the work into it, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to let anybody else take credit. And if that's crappy, then that's crappy, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to let myself feel bad about that because I really feel like, I came up with the idea on my own. It's for my birthday. I'm a little bit protective of this, like a mama bear, like this is my thing. And maybe I would take on co-hosts next year. Maybe. I can't even say I would or I wouldn't because I don't know. I just know that for right now, I'm not interested in that because I feel very protective over it. Like it's yeah. Is that weird? Is that really weird? Like, is that really selfish? I don't know. But there you have it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You know me, I'm not gonna tell a lie. It's not worth it to tell fibs about things, so I'm not going to. I'm going to be upfront and honest and say straight out that, yes, I want to keep this for myself. And if that makes me a crap person, then I guess it makes me a crap person. Like, what do? But I don't think it does. Anyways, event stuff. I just totally bored you to death over event stuff, but I mean, that's really what's going on in my life, that's what's been happening. Can I tell you a funny story? Do I know a funny story that I could tell you of anything that's happened during the week? No, but today, like probably as I'm posting this, you guys are either missing out on or have already purchased your Margaret Morales mystery. There's that. Oh my God, you guys, I am like in panic mode that I'm going to sleep through it or something is going to happen and I'm going to miss it somehow, and I'll cry. I will cry if I miss it. So I'm really hoping that if you're watching this, you're thinking about me, and I'm verifying with you that yes, I did end up getting my Margaret Morales mystery kit, because if I don't, I will have a whole ass meltdown. But I'm pretty sure I will have gotten it. Anyways, so I have my tarot cards over there. I've already shuffled them, and I want to take a wee break from this kit up, which has already taken enough time out of my life, right? And I want to read the tarot card that is already on the top here. Boop. This one I shuffled. I already got a card, and let's see what we get. Isn't that a beautiful labradorite? I love this palm stone. It's beautiful on both sides. I love it. Okay. Dustin got me this, like, I don't know, a bunch of years ago, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna bust it out. Okay. What do we have here? Our thought for the week. Okay. Boop. The Singer of Healing. And it was reverse. It was upside down. So when I read it, I'll read the reverse meaning. But this is the Singer of Healing. Okay. The Singer of Healing is 10. The Singer of Healing. Healing of body, mind, and spirit are the key words here. When illness of body, mind, or spirit prevails, and we feel disconnected from the great song of healing, the question we need to ask ourselves is, what feelings or ideas or beliefs am I holding on to that keep my wounds open and unhealed? And what can I do to nurture myself and open to the song of healing? So, not a funny story, but maybe a frustrating story, a sad story. I don't know what to call it. My sister texted me this morning. She's been trying to get a hold of me for a couple of days, and here's the deal. I had been avoiding her, which is not a nice thing to say, and it's not a nice thing to do. But I'll tell you why, and maybe it will help you to better understand why that is. Because it's not something that I do all the time, but it is something that I have to do sometimes. My sister and I had a conversation. Well, let me backtrack. My sister texted me today to let me know that her grandmother had passed away on her dad's side, because she's my half sister. I mean, I don't think of her as a half sister. Like, there's half nothing. We're sisters, okay? But she let me know that her grandmother passed away. And I've known her grandmother since I was 7 years old. And so she thought that I would want to know, because her grandmother was, you know, at least at some point in my youth, was important to me. And I have not seen her since my mom's funeral, because she did come to my mom's funeral. But my sister has now lost both of her parents, my mom, her father, and now her grandmother on her dad's side. Our grandmother was passed, on our mother's side was passed before she was born. So she has no surviving grandparents anymore. No surviving parents. It's just me. So you would think that, like, me knowing that I pretty much raised my sister and that she has no parents, that I should answer the phone, because that's just the sisterly thing to do, right? Well, my sister and I had a conversation prior to the election results, okay? And I'm not a bitter Betty. I'm not, like, and my sister and I are not opposite of each other on the political spectrum or anything, but we'd had a conversation before the election. She had told me how she believed the election results were going to go. I told her my fears about how I thought the election results were going to go. And she has this sort of way about her sometimes where she is a little bit of a know-it-all pain in my ass, okay? She's 11 years younger than I am, so sometimes that pain in the ass know-it-all thing can be really annoying. And she told me who she thought was going to win. I told her what I thought, etc., etc. Well, when Wednesday morning rolled around, she sent me a text message and was it was basically like an I told you so sort of text message. And it was not the right time. Y'all know that I was very stressed before election even happened. So election results had me even more stressed, and it was not the right time for that sort of a message from her. And so I had been avoiding her. And I feel like my sister and I have a complicated relationship wherein, you know, I'm 11 years older, so sometimes she gets to feeling like I'm, like I lord my age over her or my knowledge over her, or I'm whatever I'm doing. And I sometimes can feel like she still behaves like that little kid who acts like they know more than they know. And I mean, she's in her 30s now. It's not like she's a baby or whatever. She knows things, like she's got life experience, but I'm always going to have 11 years more experience than her in life, right? And so sometimes that relationship, while I love my sister, it can be very strained, and it can feel like an open wound all of the time. So what is the best way for a person to both be open and welcoming and not bitter and not angry about things, whatever these things happen to be? How do you let things go? Like, my whole family right now is kind of broken. It's been broken. My mom was like the glue that held us together, not by choice. I mean, we all kind of stuck together for mom, right? And when mom died, there was really no need to keep that pretense up, right? But my sister is the one that I always stay in contact with, even if I need to take, you know, a mental break from her or dodge her calls sometimes. I eventually will always get back in touch with her. And I, you know, like, we have out of all of us, I feel like my sister and I have the best relationship together. My two brothers have their best relationship together because they have a different dad than she does. I mean, I do too, but I'm like yeah, anyways. Well, so my family is this gaping open wound in my heart. And do I feel like I need to repair it? Sometimes. Sometimes, yes. It's been especially broken since my mom died and I went to rehab. Like, that all happened in the same year. And so, like, I went to my oldest brother's birthday a couple years back. I didn't see my older brother, but I saw my oldest brother. And I'll see my older brother at the Walmart or something, you know, from time to time. He'll show up randomly in my mind, randomly in my life, and make comments like, I was standing next to a shelf and I like put my arm up on the shelf and my hand was hanging down sort of in front of his face, but not really. And he made a comment about how my hands look like my mom's hands, and that just threw me off so bad. So, you know, it's talking about healing this wound, right? And sometimes it's not about healing the relationship. Sometimes it's about healing yourself, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, like healing the parts of you that feel the hurt from that relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to mean fixing the relationship, because sometimes it's better to have those boundaries than to fake it till you make it and make yourself miserable. I'm like, my mom passing was obviously awful, and I miss her all the time. You know, they tell you, like, you get over it. No, you don't. It doesn't get better. It gets different. It feels different. It moves different. It causes you to move different. Like, whenever you lose somebody, right? It doesn't, like, oh, it gets better. It gets easier. No, it gets different, right? But the one thing that I learned from my mom passing was, oh, shnikey, hold on a second. Oh, okay, I thought I put two of the same. I was like, wait, what? I can't find it in myself to, like, want so much to repair something that I feel like the respect is not mutual, and or I don't want to set myself up and open myself for this hurt that I know will happen if I open myself back up to a relationship with my siblings, all of my siblings. Now, my oldest brother, I can handle him in small doses. My older brother, very small doses. My sister is in California, so we're the entire continental United States apart from each other, so it is what it is. But I don't think that healing an open wound necessarily means repairing a relationship. It is healing those boundaries, like setting clear boundaries and making sure that you understand where they are, what they mean, why you have them, why you need them, right? Because I could open, I'm like, what is that sound? It's just beans drinking water. Sounds gross. I could open myself up. Well, I could open myself up to all of those hurts again. I could. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to myself. Because I understand that I need those boundaries so I can continue to heal the hurt from when we were kids, to heal the hurt for things that have been said, to heal the hurt for things that I've missed, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so my advice to anybody out there who may have a wound that needs healing, whether that's a relationship with a family member, a relationship with a spouse, a relationship with your kids, a relationship with a sibling, a mother, father, whatever, right? Heal your boundaries first. And I know that's what I need to do, because I need to make sure that before I call my sister to tell her how very, very sorry I am that her grandmother has now passed and that she's down yet another family member, and how terribly that hurts her, and not because she had a great relationship with that grandmother, because she did not. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is how she is feeling. But I have to make sure that before I do that, that my soul is ready and my soul is healed from the unintentional hurt that she caused me not that long ago, because that's all my crap, right? It would not behoove me to dump a whole, like, you really hurt my feelings when you over politics right now, because I am still pretty raw about that. It's not going to go away anytime soon. I know that. And so I need to take some breaths, take a space, and find it in myself to breathe, to relax, to heal, right? Because I could let that fester and boil and bother me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to heal it. I'm going to heal it on my own. I probably will talk to her about it at some point, but now is not that time. It just really, really is not. In every painful journey, there are all of these steps that you can take ultimately to that ultimate goal, right? Of just total heal, right? Total healing and mend. First of all, you need to make sure that you acknowledge your pain. You got to recognize that your hurt is real and it's valid. And suppressing emotions can delay that healing. So you need to feel what you feel, right? Express your emotions. That's number 2. Finding healthy outlets, whether you're journaling or art or just talking with your friends or talking to a therapist. That's important too. But expressing your emotions and helping you clarify, what you're feeling, and lessening the intensity of those emotions. Third, you need to practice some self-compassion. You need to avoid self-blame. Now, obviously, blame where blame is due. If you had a part in it, accept your part, right? But remember that you need to treat yourself with some kindness. Remind yourself that everybody makes mistakes and experiences pain. You acknowledge theirs and yours, because you can't just acknowledge that you feel pain and then not take any sort of look at the other person's pain, right? But acknowledge your strengths and take some steps forward, even if they're small steps forward. Number 4, learn from the experience. Reflect on any lessons you might have learned. Anything that the experience might offer, reflect on that. Maybe it showed you something about yourself or your values or the kind of relationships you want. But that can be really empowering to understand those things. Number 5, okay? Let go of your need for closure. And I don't mean foreclosure like a bank, right? Forecloses on a house. I mean your need for closure on everything. I learned a long time ago that sometimes you got to go to bed angry. I never liked to in my relationship. I never wanted to go to bed mad, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes it's just closure is not attainable, and you have to accept that. You don't have to like it. You have to accept it. It can bring peace if you just learn to accept that sometimes closure is not possible. And instead of waiting for an apology or a resolution, focus on how you can move forward without it. Because sometimes you have to accept that the other person don't want to hear your apology, right? Set boundaries. That's number 6, right? We're at number 6? 6. If the hurt came from another person, consider setting boundaries and protecting yourself from future harm from that person. Communicating your needs and limits very clearly. And prioritize your well-being. Sometimes you have to be selfish about that. People don't get it all the time. They don't understand it, but it is important. Do things that make you happy. Was that number 7? Do things that make you happy. Fill your life with activities that bring you joy. Engaging in your hobbies or your passions. It can be distracting and uplifting, and it brings positivity into your life, and it reduces your focus on the past. Number 8. Number 8. Practice forgiveness. Forgive people. If you're ready, obviously. But it can be really freeing to forgive people. And I just have to remember sometimes that my sister is an a-hole, and I need to just forgive her without even her apologizing. It's like, sometimes you just got to forgive a person for being a jerk, because they don't always know they're a jerk. But, hold on, let me see what Beans is boofing about. I'm not ready to forgive him yet, because he's being a jerk. What was I saying? Oh, practicing forgiveness if you're ready, right? Forgiveness can be really freeing, but it's a choice, not a requirement. And so when you're ready, forgiving yourself or others can release all kinds of resentments and make space for new experiences, right? Number 9. Because we're at 8, 9? Number 9. I think it's 9. Seek professional support. Okay? People leave this step out a lot. A therapist can help you work through your feelings and identify all sorts of patterns with you and develop coping strategies. Like, I will normalize therapy forever. I will always normalize therapy. But a therapist is going to help you to reduce some of your stress, your strain. A therapist can give you an objective perspective on things. Therapy is amazing and it's good for you. I don't like it when people don't listen to their therapists. If you don't listen to your therapist, then maybe you need a new therapist, you know, kind of thing. If your therapist recommends something, you should try it because they're a professional and they know better than we do. They get paid to do this, right? So probably a good idea to take their advice on stuff. That said, you know, a therapist doesn't know everything, so make sure that your therapist understands and knows you. Otherwise, like I said, get a new therapist. You don't have to stay with the same one if you don't think that they understand what you're talking about or they give you bad advice or whatever, right? But really, the last, number 10, we'll end on 10, because I think that's good. Number 10. Practice being present, because like mindfulness meditation, it can help you be more aware of your thoughts and reduce your attachments to past hurts, because you're in the now, not in the then and what hurt you then. But this one is the most important. That was 10, I guess 11, 10 and a half. Be grateful. I can't say that enough. Practice gratitude, man. Put some gratitude in your attitude, because holy crap, I know that it is so cliche to say, like, for as bad as things are, they can always get worse, but holy shit, they can always get worse. Always. And if you're grateful and you focus on gratitude, it can shift your attention away from that crappy mindset that you're stuck in and pay attention to what's good in your life now instead of all the things that suck. That positive outlook will get you so far. So, anyway, healing. It can be done. And I'm going to, right now, say thank you guys endlessly and always for being here, for supporting me, for making me feel like what I say matters, because it matters to me. It helps me, and I hope it helps you. I really, really do. Because you guys are literally the reason that I keep doing this. Or I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all. But I know that this message hits at least somebody who needs to hear it. You've got this. You've got this. But as ever, you guys, thank you so much. Hit that like button. Comment down below. Tell me, what are you healing from this week? Or what are you going to try and heal this week? Okay? And lastly, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I honestly, you guys, seriously, I don't know you, all of you, but I love you. I love you madly. As ever, you guys, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world, that you are having a tremendous, phenomenal, stupendous, wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. All right, I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.